Tell me about the first time you met the defendant.
Well, she posted the next door. She was looking for help for Thanksgiving dinner. I brought her to Walmart and turned around and bought her groceries.
Okay, very kind. So why didn't it end there?
We seem to have similar interests.
Like what?
Well, we both smoked the same cigarettes.
Okay, so you bonded on that.
Yes, ma'am.
And tell me about all of these financial loans that you were making. Were they gifts initially?
Initially, they were. I turned around and bought her a microwave and gave her some clothes and some food, some blankets.
And these weren't items that you were expecting her to pay you back for?
No.
Okay, so at what point were you going to
That
expect payment where you asked her to sign a document?
Well, in November, December, we were fine.
Yes.
But in January, we turned around and started keeping track of the books.
Why?
Because she seemed to be asking for more and more help. And it seemed like one crisis after the next.
Okay, so this agreement here is for the amount of $2,108.22. And this was signed in March of last year. And the defendant was supposed to pay $150 or more a month on or before the 20th of each month till the balance is paid in full, beginning in April of last year. Ms. Robbins, you acknowledge that you signed this document?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you employed at the time?
No, ma'am.
So how were you planning to pay them $150 or more a month?
At that point, all I could do was work for them to pay towards what I owed them.
Okay.
The agreement was she was supposed to pay me $50 per job and pay me half of it in cash, and then she would take the other $25 and put it towards what I owed.
How many days were you working at their place?
At least 3.
You say in your answer that there's no way that you would owe this much money because you did so much work at the house, but you just said you just showed up for 3 occasions.
3 days a week, but it would be multiple things. I would be there all day long.
Wait, now you're saying 3 days a week?
Right.
It was more than that.
It was like, yeah, way more
Did
than
you
that.
keep-
It was 6 months worth of
Why didn't you
that.
keep a tally? This is a huge debt.
Because I trusted them. I trusted that they would be honest about it. They would be honest about what I owed. They would be honest about what would be taken off. Because I had so much going on in my life right then.
Well, tell me what was going on.
Domestic violence, being thousands of miles away from home.
Was this the boyfriend that was locked up?
That was the boyfriend before he got locked up, and when he went to jail was no longer a boyfriend, was not even part of my life.
Why were they putting money on his books?
She did that one time, and it was so he could write back. If they did it multiple times, I don't know about it.
Why would you put money on someone's books who's connected to her but you've never met before?
He was supposed to get out early.
What does that have to do with anything? Y'all are way too nice.
Yeah, I think that's our big problem. We're way
Well,
too
okay,
nice
Mr.
about
Gordon, make sense of it for me, please.
Our whole nature is just being nice. We just don't like anybody to suffer any more than they have to. If we can do something to ease it up, we will.
Well, at some point, you have to feel like you're being taken advantage of,
Yeah,
right?
there is a point, right.
When did that come up for y'all?
Now, that started to kick in when I started doing a spreadsheet and started adding up things.
But you still gave more money.
But we still gave more money, right.
And you're saying yes, like...
Yes, because he's saying they started doing the spreadsheet in January. I moved from Colorado in August. We only knew each other 6 months. We never knew each other for a year. So this money came in a 6-month period of time. If they felt like that, and I didn't have a job, I had no way to pay it back, why would they continue to do things every day?
You knew that there was no way for you to pay this back, but you continued to take the
Right,
money.
and I continued to work for them, and I continued to look for a job, and I did get a job. And I did make a large payment to her one time.
What's the large payment?
I think it was $300.
Do you have proof of that?
No, I have proof of nothing.
Why?
Because
you're coming
I've
to
moved
court
6 times since then. I don't have the phone anymore. I don't have anything.